Hey guys, I'm back with another story. This one's not going to be in Oklahoma. It's going to be a story out of North Carolina, where yet another fatal attack has happened, and people believe possible cover-up. But before we get started, I want to thank some people. I want to thank Lisa and Steve for donating and trying to help the channel grow. Very thoughtful, very nice of you guys. It's very much appreciated, and I very much appreciate everything you all do. Very, very good people. Also, another viewer sent in a box to me. It's got says here's your Bigfoot crap, and it is the original bag of poo. It's Squatch poo. It's pretty cool. But that was sent. And another thing that came in it was a Bigfoot moonless suds. You can see him in there. Pretty cool. Take a bath with Bigfoot. But again, thank you very much for everything you all do and send in. Alright, getting to the story. This comes out of North Carolina. Miss Brenda Hamilton, February 15, 2019 was when the incident happened. To date, there is no known cause of death by any particular animal or person. She started her daily walk in the morning on February 15th of 2019. She started her walk right at sunup. She was a very early walker. She used the time for meditation. She was walking on Run Road in Beaufort County, North Carolina. She was just a few miles from the Pungo Christian Academy, where she was a teacher and mentor administrator for decades. During her early morning walk, she was attacked by an unknown animal. This attack would eventually cause her to succumb to her injury 2 days later. On February 15th, the same morning, the Chavez family was awakened by their dogs barking at the road. Whenever they went out to investigate what the dogs were barking at, the dogs had led them to the ditch. Laying in the ditch was Miss Hamilton. She had water up to her shoulders. EMS was called. They arrived to find Miss Hamilton suffering from catastrophic injuries to both legs, arms, and her scalp. It's terrible to find somebody like that. I wouldn't wish that on anybody, to find somebody like that. Beaufort County deputies, along with animal control, responded to the attack site. They discovered a freshly killed nutria near the scene. It was weird that they would just, whenever they arrived to a scene of a person in the ditch up to their shoulders in water, and here's the kicker, she's not dead, she's alive. It's not that they found a body, but all of a sudden they want to put in their head, we found a dead nutria on the road too, close to the scene. Something just don't add up with that. I know that whenever we done investigations and stuff like that, I mean, you don't show up to a scene where somebody's dying, have been viciously attacked, hit, whatever, struggling for their life, and you say, oh look, there's a dead bird close. It doesn't make sense to me, and it bothered me that they done that. But anyways, it said a large amount of blood was found on the road, leading investigators to Hamilton's body, which was in the ditch. 2 dogs that were found near the scene near Hamilton were seized and examined 1 hour after the attack. Both dogs that afternoon tested positive for only trace amounts of blood on their paws and around their mouths. The police noted the blood was not visible by their eyes. Okay. They could not visually see the blood on the dogs. It was only under a swab, and it was minute. The Beaufort County Sheriff's Office stated the 2 dogs near the Hamilton were examined about an hour after the attack by deputies and animal control officers. The dogs displayed no signs of aggression towards deputies. They passed the 19-step test. They were not wet, and there was no visible signs of blood or mud on either dog. Later that afternoon, tests showed trace amounts of human blood on paws and around their mouths, but not in their mouths. My guess is the dogs were with her when the attack happened. They probably ran up to her, investigated her after the attack. They stepped in the blood. They probably sniffed her, got the blood around their mouths. If they would have licked her, consumed her, there would have been evidence of her in their stomachs, in their mouth, and their teeth. so on, without getting graphic. But the sheriff stated that with animal control, that DNA did not match any of the dogs on Miss Hamilton's injuries, even though they had very small amounts on their paws and around their mouths, indicating they probably was checking her out and sniffed her and walked up on her. The dogs were not suspected of attacking her because the DNA did not match the dogs. The DNA collected at the scene concluded that the wounds were not made by the dogs that were at the scene. But however, the sheriff's department came back later and said that it did not prove they did not attack her because it was canine in nature. That's funny. I think y'all don't even need me to say nothing about that. You're going to figure that out on your own. In my opinion, with her being consumed, there would have been, blood all over the dogs from the attack and the feeding. And the part that really bothers me is this part right here. She was not dead, found in a ditch with water up to her neck. She, in the report, was partially consumed while she was alive. She was ate alive while she laid here. Wildlife Department stated nutria are not in this area, and there is also no indication of any other predator animals large enough to take human life. There's your one. Sounds like the Wildlife Department's not even agreeing with the Sheriff's Department. They went on in their investigation. Every dog within the area of the county, over 14 dogs, were DNA tested. They all came back negative. None of the dogs in the whole town that they could find, that they quarantined, that they done anything with, came back that they were the culprit. Here's a better one. One of the neighbors had contacted the police department 1 week prior, stating she saw a large black animal run past her. As it got to the field, it went bipedal. No report was made because they felt like it had no substance. I had a person reach out to me that lives in the county. She came across it and seen what I was doing. She's one of the people that send me in information. She said that area is pretty prone to, a lot of people have called the police at seeing this creature. Is black, tall, dog-like, walks on two legs, bipedal, also walks on four. Police department has no interest in it. Wildlife has no interest in it. The only thing that pretty much they'll tell anybody is that there's no lions or there's none of this in the area. The thing is, if there's no nutria in the area, how is a nutria there? Is there nutria there and Wildlife Department just don't know it? Yeah, that's possible. Shouldn't be. They should be doing their job. They should know what's in the area. Second thing could be is whatever attacked her didn't come from that area, that it had been traveling and was passing through and saw her as an opportunity. An elderly woman, weaker, and 411 talks about, the weaker people, elderly, being attacked. She would fit somewhat the criteria. I don't know that she fits all the criteria, the limestone rock, the change in the weather and things like that, but it's a sad deal. As of right now, the Sheriff's Department has closed the case. There was town meetings trying to get the Sheriff's Department to reopen the case to give a better estimate or even to find out what had happened to this lady. Sheriff's Department concluded that the attacks on the female appeared to be canine in nature, which was disputed among some witnesses and Wildlife Department experts to say the bites did not match any predators known in the area. There were slashes, reported one of the workers, not punctures, not bites, and not tears. This is Wildlife Department. So, another cover-up, another victim. That's terrible that she was consumed alive. We have done videos that show animals are not interested in eating human. In fact, they don't even like the taste of us. Domesticated animals, I should say. Dogs don't even like the taste of us. It's been studied all over Britain, Europe, United States. That's not what they like to eat. But whatever this is, it does. And if you go back to 14th, 15th century England, when the reports came out of the first werewolves, dogmen, whatever you want to call them, upright walking wolves, they called them a lot of things. The one thing in all their stories that was always the same, they ate humans. Even the Cherokee, my people and other tribes said that there was dogmen, there were Bigfoot, and they had trouble with them eating their children, their women, those that were weaker or sick. So just something to throw out there for y'all to think about. Again, this is terrible that she was consumed alive. People deserve answers. They shouldn't just close the case and say we believe it to be this. I believe it should be investigated a lot further. A life was lost. The family deserves answers. They have the equipment. They have the knowledge. They have everything at their disposal. They could come up with something, in my opinion. But prayers to the family. I hope that they get closure. And if I find out any more, there'll be another video. But keep them in your thoughts and in your prayers. I know it happened in 2019, but it still has to be weighing on their minds the atrocity of this attack. It's terrible. And what she must have seen, what she even seen coming at her. What did she witness coming at her? What did she have to watch consume her while she was laying there? That's scary. Be safe, guys, and we'll see you next time.